Were you killed?
Sadly, yes. But I lived.
Yes, the rumors are true. I have returned. So when the whole TikTok ban dilemma happened, CapCut is from the same parent company that TikTok is, and it got caught up in all that. And I use CapCut to edit. I know, cringy, right? But yeah, the short story is it's back now, and so am I. So that's good. Anyway, without wasting too much time, let's just get into it. So by this point, they seem to have their character consistency in shape. As you can see that these two that were on Buggy's right are still on Buggy's right when it pans away. And it even shows the guy in yellow who was carrying a buggy ball from one of the previous episodes. Man, the mayor is really struggling right now. Alright, well, character consistency isn't perfect, but, you know, we could just say that the guy in the red shirt and the other guy there just walked away, you know, out of fear. That kind of makes sense. Also, a buggy ball exploded on the roof of that house in the previous episode, and all it seemed to do was blow away the tent that Buggy was staying in. Now, considering how much damage one single buggy ball did to an entire portion of the town in an earlier episode, I find it hard to believe that this building is still in such good standing, but more on that later. The pirate in the red shirt and the pirate in the pink shirt with the suspenders were previously on Buggy's right, now they're on his left. The guy who got clapped by Buggy in episode 5 is standing on his right all of a sudden. And, oh wait, these guys are back on Buggy's right now. Okay. I love this trope where a character does something and they're like, yeah. Just starts dusting their hands off. Like, bro, Luffy must be so proud of himself or something. The only time I've ever done this is when I'm trying to clean off gloves I'm wearing or something. So fun fact about this guitar sound effect, it's actually Buggy's pure aura just radiating from him. How do I know? Just look at his henchman there. He clearly hears not the drums of liberation, but the riff of subjugation. Like the sheer conqueror's hockey emanating from this man is insane. Do you see my point? In episode 5, the buggy ball did all this. Now it's only done this. I mean, it's still a lot, but it's quite confusing. I mean, maybe there are different just grades of buggy ball, and this was a weaker one. But like, come on. The only building that was affected was the one that was hit. Every other building doesn't even have a scratch. Okay, I'm sorry, she's just huffing copium at this point. Shields against an explosion that leveled this building into straight up rubble? Like, he basically just tanked the explosion and beat those two up when he threw a temper tantrum afterwards. After they were already knocked out from the explosion itself. He didn't take damage just because he's him, okay? Let's just get that straight. I'm so angry I can't even fart. Why did he say that? You could have said anything. Like, man, I'm so angry, I'm about to explode or something. Also, talk about late. Like, dude, where has this guy been at the entire time? Alright, so I'm super confused as to why it's making chain sounds, because apparently standard unicycles don't have chains. I mean, there are these giraffe unicycles, apparently, that have a chain mechanism so that you can be higher off the ground. But this doesn't look like a giraffe unicycle. He's not super duper high off the ground. And on top of that, you could see that there's no chain on his unicycle to begin with. With that in mind, even if it had a chain, why does it sound like a thick chain? You know what I mean? Like a bike chain does not sound like that. A drawbridge level thickness chain does. Also, they have this repeating house background animation while he's on the way.
おいゾロ、やっぱり休んでろよ。
Nami looks so fried. What happened? Oh, wow. Okay, I gotta admit though, this guy's acrobatics are way more impressive than you'd first think, because to put a full-fledged kick to the side while on a unicycle, I mean, I can't do that. And I bet you can't do that. Yeah, this is the exact same visual scene they used when he first launched his attack. It's only fitting that the very first real fight that Zoro technically gets into has him handicapped. I mean, honestly, the entirety of the East Blue of this dude is pretty much just handicapped the entire time. Well, I mean, that's truly unfortunate for your swords there, because only one of them is going to even make it into the Grand Line. Also, can we please just take a second to appreciate the beautiful trumpet in Zoro's theme song? Look at, if you blink, you miss it. Look at Nami back there. Also, watch this. Now, this is a pretty weak lock, but that is pretty realistic considering how vulnerable most modern padlocks are to just being hit and breaking open. And I really don't see this low-quality, rustic, one-piece padlock being much better. So, very fair. I'm a really big fan of the color / like motion blur that the tops have and stop having once they're cut open. Ooh, wonderful touch. Love it. Man, that sure would have sucked if Buggy didn't loudly announce exactly what his intentions were with that attack. Gee. Chef's kiss on the lighting effects here. In my opinion, it's kind of weird how she just casually mentions this guy's existence. I mean, if you weren't paying decent attention when she walked down here the first time, it was really easy to miss that this guy was just sleeping right there. So like, oh crap, he woke up. It's like, who's he again? That was my personal experience when I first watched it. I just missed that guy. Alright, so here's a good time to mention that I plan on tracking the hypersexualization count throughout the anime. That means unnecessary jiggle physics, particularly questionable scenes, and anything else that tries way too hard to catch my eye with fan service. That being said, I was questioning whether or not to consider this scene the first one, and I've decided not to. My reasoning is that she used a pretty clever tactic for her situation against a loser. Like, it zooms in on her chest, but that's more to convey what even gets this guy all weird looking. And though the sound is a bit weird, it also serves the same purpose. Here's what the scene would have looked like without that part. So it just doesn't make as much sense. I mean, this scene is more mature, but it's not hyper-sexualized per se enough to count. Also, just straight up screw this guy, by the way. Alright, so two things. Number one, this was Zoro's first onigiri. Number two, I would not have noticed this, to be honest, but this means rice balls. He named the move in honor of the girl that tried to feed him when he was held captive. Thanks to this guy in my comment section for noticing that. And with that in mind, his reaction to being defeated makes a lot more sense. I'd be flabbergasted too if I lost to a guy using rice balls as an attack. The absolute lord of trash talking himself. He just dissed Luffy and Zoro 3 times in one sentence effortlessly. Okay, so real question, where did he get the daggers just now? Because the way they just flew out of nowhere seems like something only the theoretical endgame level Buggy could do. The comedic effect locked behind that audio work there with the song echoing out as soon as Luffy's like, what are you talking about? Oh man, that's so good. I guess rice is just a staple for naming attacks around here, huh? This tree that Luffy grabs behind Buggy did in fact exist before it needed to. I know it should have been obvious, but there are times where things like this don't happen. And don't think I missed the fact that his taggers came out even worse than last time. This time they phased in like lightsabers. I simply don't understand what happened here. He says separate as if his hand separates even further to escape Luffy's grip, but it ends up being whole again like immediately after it flies past his head. And there's not even a single frame that shows his like hand being split up in the first place, so I guess he just put extra effort into pushing his hand forward? In which case I guess he just subverted Luffy's expectations by calling out something he didn't actually do. Like I said, he's him. So there are obviously a lot of theories based off of the fact that Buggy's the only person who's ever fought Luffy and managed to damage his hat. Some people say it's just because, well, they're not aiming for that. I mean, as intense as these battles go, it's kind of crazy that Luffy's hat doesn't get damaged, if anything. Just from sheer collateral damage. But some of the theories regarding this whole idea are including, but not limited to, Buggy will be an antagonist at Laugh Tale. Buggy will find the One Piece first. The 3 daggers going through the hat represents the 3 OG Straw Hats. Buggy is stronger than he appears. Now, do I believe any of those? Well, the 4th one I kinda believe. Not because I really truly believe that, oh yeah, he's definitely hiding something. He's definitely like pretending to be way weaker than he is. And he's actually like Shanks level. It's plausible, I suppose. I more so believe it just because I really, really want to believe it for some reason. I mean, just look here. He literally breaks the 4th wall. How can you not believe that? You know what I mean? It is very nice to be back, to be honest. If you watched until this point, congratulations, you've earned a golden star. What do you get for getting a golden star, you might ask? I don't know. But if you did make it to the end of the episode, I want to see you put "it's green outside" in the comments. Just so number 1, I can see how many people actually made it. And number 2, it'll be a little bit wacky for people who don't know what is going on. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm back, my schedule's back, I might be tweaking it a little bit here in the future, but that being said, at least you know new episodes are still coming out. I didn't abandon YouTube, okay?